Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for coming. It's so great that we have so many people to witness this today. It's our honor and privilege to welcome Ariel, who was a survivor of the October 7th attack in Israel. And without further ado, I want to let Ariel take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Ariel, I'm 26 years old. I live in Beersheba in Israel, it's in the south part, and I'm a student there. I'm studying computer science and linguistics. I was just about to start my last semester this October, and I also work at a student bar as a bartender. And for a long time, me and my friends, we wanted to do a party like for ourselves. And we decided to do it on October 6th, and we chose the Kim Beach, which is the closest beach to Gaza, the closest to Gaza, maybe 200 meters from the fence. And we went there in the evening, at 5 p.m. We went there and we camped there, and we brought everything. I'm telling you, it was amazing. We brought food, we brought lights, covers, carpets, music, DJ, even a DJ to make it an official party. And we partied. We partied the whole night until like 6 a.m. And then we closed the music and we decided to go to sleep. At 6:30 we woke up, me and a friend, we woke up to a massive sound of explosion. And I woke up and I'm looking all around me and I'm seeing like all my friends still sleeping. And I'm seeing like people just walking on the shore. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's my friends. They put explosive sounds on the speakers and they're breaking us. So we went back to sleep, and 30 seconds after, the emergency alerts went off. So we woke up and we saw everyone already running everywhere, and we took shelter between two shipping containers that we found on the shore. So we ran to there, we hid between them, and we waited for like 30 minutes. And it was crazy, like from the first second you could see there's something else. I tell you, I'm originally from the north part of Israel, so I was 9 when the second Lebanon war was happening, so we got hit by a lot of missiles, a lot. And it was before the Iron Dome, so every missile they fire exploded. So my point here is that we know rockets, like we handle them our whole life. We're afraid of them, but we're not terrified by them. So for those 30 minutes, we were sitting there, just praying that we won't fall into the statistics and the rockets won't hit us. And it was something else, it was massive, I'm telling you. Hundreds of rockets only in the first hour. And just hearing the explosions like every few seconds and just think, okay, that's it, I'm gonna die here. And when those 30 minutes passed, I was looking at the sea and I saw 3 boats coming at my direction. And I was super drunk by that night, and I was just standing there, all drunk, looking at the boats, don't know what I'm seeing, like thinking to myself, okay, maybe it's our Navy doing like a drill or something. And then they started to fire at us, the boats, and then that's where we realized it was Hamas terrorists. They fired hundreds of rounds at our shore. It was crazy. It's like in the movies when you see the bullets hit the sand and the sand just pops up, and so it was just like that. We're escaping, and you see the whole sand just dancing and popping all around you, and all you can think of is that the next bullet is gonna be to my head, and that's it. And we just ran. We just ran as east as we could. Like the coast in Israel is just like here. It's on the west side. So we thought, okay, let's just run east, away from the shore as we can. And we ran a lot, like maybe a half a mile, all barefoot, no phones, no nothing, just running on the road until we got to a military base called the Zaki military base. So we went there and we asked the guard of the base to let us in, and she didn't let us in because the terrorists infiltrating the whole place. And I'm telling you, if I was her, knowing everything that happened, I wouldn't let us in too. So we were standing outside the gate, begging her to let us in, when suddenly we started to hear gunshots. and we're looking everywhere and we don't see anything, and that's when we realized it's snipers targeting us. So we had to run to the bushes and hide there for like 10 minutes. And for 10 minutes you just lie there between all the bushes and just hearing the whistles of the bullets flying above your head. And again, thought I'm gonna die there. After 10 minutes, the soldier that was there convinced that we're not terrorists, and she let us in. And we got into the base, and 10 feet from the entrance there was a shelter. So we went into the shelter, and we hid there. And the soldier that was with us was hiding inside with us instead of guarding outside. So I started to ask her, like, what is your name? What is your age? What is your qualification? And she told me that she's only 18 years old, and she's only 1 month into the army, and she's like never fired a gun in her life. So I realized that she wouldn't save us. So I took her gun, and I went outside the shelter to guard my friends. Stood there with a gun for like 40 minutes, just covering to every direction. And at that point, the adrenaline already kicked in, so I wasn't drunk anymore, so I was pretty sharp. And I didn't fire a gun for like 5 years, but I said it's better than nothing. After 40 minutes, a squad came in, an officer and 2 commanders. The officer name was Yanai Kaminka, and he came in and he started to brief us, like, if the soldier will die, he will take his weapon. If the terrorist will come from here, he will run to there. And it was like, he said, he really helped us, and we felt safe with him. By the way, I forgot to say, which is a very important part of my story, is that we had so much luck. Like, when we saw the boats and we started running, a minute after we left the shore, terrorists mounted the beach, and they killed 40 people. They killed everyone there. They killed 17-year-old kids that came to this beach to camp. They killed 17-year-old couple that came there to celebrate their first love. They killed fishermen. They killed fathers and sons that coming to this beach for like 40 years. And yeah, they killed everyone there, and we were lucky. We managed to get there a minute before it all happened. There were 20 people, by the way. So back to the shelter. So I was there with the officer and the soldiers, and the officer that was there with us really made us feel safe. You know, they made us feel like the IDF came and he here to rescue us. And 10 minutes after he came, he saw what happening on the radio. He saw what's happening on the WhatsApp group. I mean, he talked to them and he saw what's happening, and he knew his friends are already dead, and he knew he need to go back and help them. So he ran to the fight, and later that day we found out that he died there. He was only 20 years old. So we kept hiding there for 2 hours in the shelter, just knowing that we're first line to the sea, knowing that they killed everyone there and we're next. And like I saw my friends writing goodbye letters to their parents, imagine that. And I couldn't do that. I was thinking about it, but I couldn't do that eventually. And you know, it sounds very strange, sounds very weird, but when I was there, I really accepted my death. Like, I didn't have a choice. I sat there, and I'm hearing the gunshots from everywhere. Imagine that from every direction you hear gunshots from like 40, 50 meters from you, and you're also getting bombed by, I'm telling you, about 50 missiles hit the base when we were hiding during those hours. So I was just saying to myself, okay, I just got here in the wrong place at the wrong time. You have nothing to do, and that's it. And I wasn't even that scared. And I think this is what really amazes me until now. Like, I don't know how it's possible. So anyway, we were there hiding, and imagine that we're calling the police, we're calling the ambulances, we're calling the firefighters, we're calling everyone, and no one picks up. So you're just sitting there, And I was the one with the radio, and I'm going in the radio, asking for reinforcement, for help, for something, and no one picks us. No one even replied to us. So we felt really abandoned there. Like, no one even knows that we're there. We're gonna die here, and no one even knows that. And because of that, after those 2 hours, we decided that we can't stay there anymore, and we need to get out of there. So we went into the cars, and we started driving. And I was with the car with two Bedouin friends of mine. Bedouins are Muslims minority, who lives in Israel. And they were driving the car, and I was sat in the back, on the middle, which is like the worst place you can sit in. And none of us knew this area, so we asked Waze to take us home. And I'm telling you now, never trust Waze, like ever. It showed us that the main road is blocked, so we had to take us to a detour to the agricultural fields. And now that I know all the details, I can tell you that those fields were filled with hundreds of terrorists in those times. And we heard of it. We heard it. Like while we're driving there, we heard all the gunshots. We heard screams of women. We heard screams of people. It was horrifying. I'm telling you. All you can think of is on the next turn, you're gonna meet some terrorists, and that's it. And we were driving there for like 15 minutes in the fields. And suddenly I'm seeing like a big wall, concrete wall, that used to block snipers. And I'm looking at this wall and I'm thinking to myself, why do we get to this wall? Like I know this wall from the north part of Israel where I live. There is walls like that where is the border. So I thought to myself, something is wrong here from seeing this wall here. So I'm looking at the map and I'm seeing that for the last 5 minutes we're driving alongside the Gaza border. And that's when we realized like we have to U-turn now. Like it's the worst place you can be right now. So we turned around and we drove back those 15 minutes. And when we finished that, we got into an intersection when we had to choose. We want to take a left back into the base or right to the exit. And we chose the right. And we drove to the exit that Way said it's blocked. And we're driving, and suddenly we're seeing two police cars parking, facing us with one door open, and we're driving towards them very fast. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, why this police car is here, and why they're stopping like that? I'm sure they're barricading right now, preparing themselves to contact. So I asked my friends to slow down, like I begged them, please slow down, they will shoot us. If I was a police officer in those moments and I would see this car coming in my direction so fast, I would definitely shoot it. And this is what I was thinking. So I told them, please slow down. And they didn't. And when we got closer to the police cars, we saw a dead body lying on the ground, all dressed in black, just like a police officer in Israel. And we thought it was a dead police officer. And suddenly the dead body woke up holding an AK-47. And he started to firing at us, and in the same second, his friends from the bushes fired at us too, and that's where we realized we got ourselves into an ambush, and they fired, I'm telling you, they fired a lot, and we were 5 people in the car, and one of my friends got hit in the shoulder, and I really can't explain to you how the rest of the bullets didn't hit any of us. There was a second when we were all like lowering our heads and covering it, and during the fire, and then there was like a stop, and I just peeked a little to see what's ahead of us, and in this second a bullet came straight from the windshield, and I saw him cracking the windshield, and I saw him, he moved just past my ear. It was crazy, I'm telling you. When it happened, I thought I'm dead. Like I thought to myself, it's like in the movies, you got shot and you just don't know that yet. So I started to feel myself, like every inch of my body, I was just feeling myself. And for the next hour, I was just feeling myself. Like only when I got home, an hour and a half later, that's where I knew for sure that I'm not dead. And so our car got out. Another car of my friends also went through the ambush. And they had less luck than us. One of the bullets hit my friend's leg, and other bullets hit the oil tank of the car. So after maybe 200 meters, the car just broke down and started to catch fire. So they had to leave the car and go run in the bushes. And they hid there for like 30 minutes, something like that. And then they saw a police car. Like they heard a car coming in their direction. So my friend, the one who got shot, actually ran to the road and stopped the car. And fortunately for him, it was the IDF, so they took him to the ambulances. And when I met him the other day, I asked him, like, how did you do it? You just saw terrorists dressed up as police officer. You just saw what's happening on the news, on the media. How could you do that? And he told me that by that time he lost too much blood, that he had to take the chance. And we managed to call our other friends and tell them to turn around because we just got into an ambush. And they went there and they hid there for like another 7 hours before the IDF got them out. And I'm telling you, 7 hours is a long time. Like, everything I just told you, this whole story, was maybe 3 hours. So imagine that after those 3 hours, they had to wait another 7 before they got out, without phones, without reception, without anything, without water. So eventually, all 20 of us got out. And I wish I could tell you our story ended well, but it didn't. A friend of us, one of my best friends, her name is Mor Gabay. She was with us the whole night. She partied with us. She came at 5 p.m. with us. She made camp with us. She partied with us until the morning. And at 6 a.m., when we closed the music, she decided that she wanted to go home to her mother that lives 20 minutes drive from there instead of staying to sleep with us. And the alarms, the emergency alerts went off when she was on the way home. So she did what she knows best. Like, she's a southern girl. She used to the rockets. So she knew exactly what to do. She went inside the shelter, a shelter that you could find in the middle of the road. And for 30 minutes, all she did was just like calling each and every one of us, telling us to get out of there. But we were already running for our lives, so we didn't pick up. And she called her mother, and she called her brother and sister. And she even wrote a few messages in our group chat telling us to get out of there because it's dangerous. And when she got out of the shelter to drive home, she didn't know that the road was already filled with hundreds of terrorists. And they caught her, and they shot her dead. And with all the chaos that was in the first few days, we thought that she was kidnapped for 4 days. Only after that time we found her body. And we buried her the same day. And that's it. Like, this is how our story ended. I mean, I really acknowledge the miracle that happened to us, all the 20 people that was there on the beach, while 40 people lost their life, and we didn't. But still, she's not here with us, and it's the most absurd thing I think about it, is that being with us in this living hell for those hours was more safe to her than going home to her mother. And before I finish, I just wanted to say to you, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming here. It really means a lot to me. Please, I have one request from you. With all the misinformation that's going on right now, and the false narrative that people are trying to draw, my request to you is to remember the story and to tell it to everyone you can. And if you want, like my crazy friends apparently took a lot of videos that day, so if someone wants the media, I can send it to you. Just keep spreading the word. And thank you really for coming here.
Thank you so much, Ariel. I think all of us can say that was so incredibly moving, and it's everything that you said resonated with each and every one of us. And if it's okay with you, we have a couple people that asked questions, And then after we ask the questions in the forum, we're going to open it up to the crowd if you guys have additional questions for Ariel. And the first question we have is, how has your relationship changed? How has your relationship with Judaism changed after the attack?
Well, I wasn't that religious. Let's put it that way. Like I wasn't never kept kosher and stuff like that. And after the attack, there are some things that I still can't explain. That will always be a mystery, I guess. Like when I told you about the ambush, when the terrorists fired at us. So they fired around 50 bullets at close range, and they hit only 5 at the car. And that thing, like, I can't explain. So I was thinking to myself, like, maybe someone protected us that day. But I really don't know if it was God, it was just dumb luck. I really don't know. I'm still figuring it out. But what did happen is that when I came here, I saw the Jewish community here and the Israeli community and how united they are. And that really gave me hope, and that really made me happy that I'm Jewish, and made me remember, like, the power of the Jewish people and what we're capable to do together. And so I don't think my religious Judaism got stronger, but my Judaism, my Jewish identity definitely got stronger from that.
Thank you. Another question we got is, do you have any predictions for the future?
What kind of prediction? Actually, it's a question that I get a lot, and my answer to that is I simply don't know. Like, I don't know when it all be over how the Israeli society is gonna recover, how the Jewish society will gonna recover from that. I don't know how Gaza will look like when we will finish there. I don't know if it will be a Palestinian authority there, or Egyptian authority, or Qatarian authority. I don't know what is gonna happen there, and I'm trying not to look at these questions right now because the war is still going on and our brothers are still there. 150 hostages are still in captivity, and until we will finish all of that, I'm not gonna give these questions so much place because it's not the important thing right now. The important thing is to stay united and to finish that.
Absolutely. So now our next question is, what do you think of Palestine?
That's a good question. One of my main points that I'm trying to prove here, that I'm trying to say here, is that of course there is an Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It's there, it always was there, and it's not going anywhere. And each and every one of us have his thought about it. Like, there is some things that we agree on, some things we don't. Some things that I agree with my government on, and some things that don't. But people need to understand that what happened on October 7th, it's a part of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It's a war between Israel and Hamas, and that's it. We have no interest right now in the Palestinian people, no interest of harming them or having bad feelings for them. It's not the time for that now. The time is to eradicate Hamas and make him pay for what he did to our people on October 7th. And this is my focusing. Like, I'm everywhere I'm going, I'm telling, and it's really true. I'm really feel bad and sorry for every innocent Palestinian that's dying because of this war. But it's all Hamas' fault. Like, I'm telling you, it's not. We have nothing to do with it. All you can blame is Hamas for that.
Okay, we're now going to open up the questions to anyone who has in the crowd. So, does anyone have a question?
If you could go back in time before October 7th happened, what would you do differently?
I'm going to repeat it for anyone that couldn't hear, if you could go back in time before October 7th,
Like, what would you do differently?
what would you do differently?
It's actually an amazing question, you know, because it sounds weird, but I've thought about it so much. Like, if I would given the chance to go to October 6th right now, what would I do differently? And I think that what I would do is, all I could think of when I thought about this question when I was on my own is how to be able to warn as much people as I can for what's coming. And I don't have an answer for that. Like, I don't know how, but definitely if I could go back in time, the only thing I would do is just warn everyone about what's coming. Definitely.
Listening to all these false narratives regarding like what happened, what was your initial reaction? And like acting like that, like what would you do to like
I'm going to repeat it. What was your initial reaction to the misinformation, and how do you combat that now?
My first reaction was I wasn't surprised. This false narrative that Hamas is trying to spread didn't start at October 7th. It started way before, and we're hearing the comments and the things people say even before that. So it's nothing new to us. But what I do to combat it, this is what you asked, right? Is to really, like what I'm doing here, I'm not coming from a political side. I'm not going to speak on facts and who invaded who and who conquered who or stuff like that. I'm here to tell my story from an objective side, to show the world, show the American people, show you guys what happened on October 7th, and show you that we were just having fun, having best time of our lives with all just students that came to have a party, and this thing happened to us and we didn't want it, and this is what the point I'm trying to prove here. And I want to give you guys and all the Americans that listen to me the opportunity to listen to my story and to be able to put yourselves in my place and to understand the other side of the story, and from there you can take it to wherever you want. I'm not going to tell you how to feel and which people to vote and which people to hate. It's not what I'm doing here. I'm not trying to turn you to my side or something like that. My point, like it's eventually my point, but I'm doing it by telling my story and making people understand that it could happen to anyone. Like supernova, it's just like Coachella. There's no difference. It could happen here too.
I think recently we've seen that Israel has been divided within itself with politics and things like that. Do you think after the war, everyone in Israel will be more unified and be together again?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna repeat the question. So the question was, like before, Israel was sort of divided on two political sides. What do you think would happen in the future? Is everyone going to be divided in like together in Israel?
Yeah, I have actually a lot of hope for that. After seeing, like I was experiencing the riots in Israel for the past year from close range. My friends, the students, were taking very active part of it, and I saw how it took us apart. And when October 7 happened, suddenly saw how everyone is so united, and it really gave me hope for the future, to see like what is happening now and to see how the people is living their the things they don't believe in on the side and just focusing on what's matter. And yeah, I know that we will be more united. That now we're more united than ever. Like I'm seeing it in Israel and I'm also seeing it here in the US. And I can only hope, really, I can only hope that we will stay united like that after it all be over.
Were you hesitant knowing that you were going to be close to Gaza? Were you hesitant going to that was like closer to?
Was Ariel hesitant in going to a beach or a location that was so close to Gaza and the borders?
Actually, I never been to this place before. I never been to anywhere the Gazan border, and I had my concerns before I came, but that's why I didn't go there until then. But I don't know why on that day I didn't have an station. I just went with them. Just yeah, fuck it, let's go. What can happen? Sorry for the language.
How did you stay positive, like after the fast? And what did you do to keep a positive perspective after everything going on?
So how did you stay positive, and what did you do after the fact to keep a positive mindset?
Well, actually, after it happened, I wasn't so positive, and then I met my friend, the one who got shot, and he was smiling from ear to ear, couldn't shut up about it. He was so positive about it, and he made me realize that we just got our lives back, and we need to take what happened to us, these atrocities, and make it, and turn it into actions. And this is what I'm doing here. It gives me a lot of strength, and makes me feel good knowing that I'm helping my country right now, helping my people, and mostly speaking up for those who can't right now.
How were you able to move everything?
How did you come here after the attacks and sort of move after everything that's happened?
I didn't move here. I'm here for I came here to speak. Only. I'm going home in a week.
Was there like aid, did people come help you?
Yeah. Well, when it all happened, I wrote a post on Instagram explaining what happened, and then an organization here called the IAC. They asked me if I want to come here to speak. And I told them, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I? And they paid for my flight here, so they brought me here, and they paid for my hotel in the first few days. And since then, I'm just being supported by the Jewish community here, by families, by private people, and it's amazing. Like, people. Only when after I spoke at the IAC, I got maybe 200 people calling me to come to speak at their communities and come for a Shabbat dinner and come to stay at their place and ask me if I need their car and stuff like that. So I got all the help I needed from the people here, and it's amazing to feel that support.
Okay, thank you for everyone who came today, and thank you to Ariel for sharing your experience.